Said I'm taking big shots, just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. They been trying to get me cheap like a thrift shop, but I told them it's my time, check the wristwatch. They been talking way before they even doing something. Whoa. If they wanna play, let's get the tip off. Ain't no silver lining, dawg, this some rose gold. Getting new money, I'm a old soul. Yeah, I get it bouncing like a pogo. Whoa. And I'm too cold like Frozone. And my chick elastic, girl. Told them we ain't in the fake and this ain't plastic, girl. Bought a new whip and cash, now my taxi thorough. Way I'm shooting like step, but my pass is bro. The way I'm playing the field, I'm in a league of my own. And now they all in they fields, I got them all on my phone. But dog, I'm hitting the climb, I got no time on the low. Way I'm shooting is messy, the way I'm hitting the goals. I'm taking big shots, just stop. Way I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. I just left, but you know I'm coming back though. Whoa. And you know I don't play by my rags though. Now go and turn it up to the max, whoa. Send a paper to me now like a fax, whoa. Yeah. Got 2 phones ringing off the hook now. When I'm in the city, I get looks now. I was going bad, but I'm good now. Said I had to go and put my foot down. Told them I'ma get it and go. Nah. Even in the summer, man, they knowin' I'm cold. I got a couple checks coming that I made off the flows. Might get a couple more poppin' if I do it some more. I gotta do it for real. Said I'm back in my bag. All my digits are climbing just like they all on the dash. And they tell me slow down cause dog, I'm moving too fast. Might go and cop me a Tesla cause dog, I still got a gas. Said I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex, but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all, I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Bitcoin getting a push into about $90,500 before getting the big drop to the downside. Relatively big drop at least. As you guys know, this was a big key level of resistance we looked at last week. We got a quick rip up there at about 7:30 a.m. before a fast drop to the downside. Is the Santa rally dead? What does Market Cypher say? Are we getting a bigger move down? Are we going to be able to see Santa pull through and bring us some presents and not some coal this year, guys? We're going to break it down all in today's live stream. Where are the next key support levels? What are we expecting? When will the wonky price action end? I'm going to break it all down for you. Shout out to the CandleMafia. Welcome in. Make sure I'm not muted here. Shout out to Rudy. What is going on, Rudy? Long time no see. He was in the premium live streams. He said, Frankie Candles, boss tomato sauce. Shout out to Rudy. Welcome in, brother. We got Mystic Ruin also in the premium live stream. Shout out to David in the chat. We got Safe Haven. Welcome in, bro. Said, hi to Frankie and all. Please, Xmas, give us a lovely pump to 100K. But we'll talk about a potential Santa rally, guys. How high it could go. What are the probabilities of it actually happening? And we'll cover the high time frames, low time frames. We got Darren Does Things in the chat. Jesse and Crypto Billy holding it down as the mods today. Show them some love, guys. We got Amina in the chat. Welcome in. How are you guys feeling? Are you in the Christmas spirit yet? Or are you waiting for tomorrow? Guys, by the way, I will be traveling tomorrow. I think I'm going to be able to go live. I think I'm leaving late. I think the flight's late at night. But next week, obviously, with Christmas upon us and the holidays, I will be traveling. I will be with family. So live streams, we're going to be on the We're going to be on a little bit of a wonky schedule next week. I might drop some market updates if we see some crazy stuff go down. But if not, I'm going to try to take some time off and hang out with the family. But of course, if things get super, super wild, I'll drop a market update for you guys. Frankie Rowley, shout out to Crypto Billy. I'll try to pump it for you guys. I'll take all my Christmas gifts. If I get any money, we'll dump it into the market for you. Push back up. Shout out to Joseph. Welcome in. Let's see. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts, guys. Shout out to Regular Guy Trades. Said too many of us on the naughty list. Yeah, shout out to Regular Guys Trades. Wow, it's about a split decision here in the poll. 48% say we are obviously going to get some green candles. 52% of you guys on the naughty list. So much of the mafia is on the naughty list. What is going on, guys? What is going on? But let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and check out some of these key levels. Take a look at Market Cipher B. I'll give you guys the bullish case, the bearish case, and of course, which way I'm leaning and how I am personally handling this price action. Let's jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. All right, let's see. All right, we got the camera on. I was in the premium live stream before, so sometimes we mess up the camera and stuff. You guys can hear me loud and clear. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. Now, obviously, if you tuned in last week, we did get the move into our key level of resistance. We had the golden pocket, the POC. Now, we did not push deep into this level, guys. We had the we actually ended up rejecting the weekly level, but we had the weekly, the golden pocket, the POC, and I believe we had some other stuff in here as well. Do we have a daily MPOC in there? No. Oh, we also had the anchored VWAP pulled from 107.4 coming through there as well, which is not on the chart. Let me re-pull that here. Bada boom, bada bing. There we are. So obviously, there we go, right? We got this level push in here. We front-ran the anchor VWAP, front-ran the golden pocket, but we did reject the weekly level, guys. Now, this zone is still obviously going to be relevant. Obviously, we did tap the weekly, so I would kind of move this up to the golden pocket, anchor VWAP, POC. Technically, it does run into the 786 daily naked point of control sitting up here, but I typically separate these into tighter levels. That'll kind of be key zone number one. But at the end of the day, what happened? We did push up into this level, guys, and we did get an SFP of that wick high sitting at about $90,383. We got the wick above, candle closure down below, and the dump back to the downside. And if you remember, last week I did take the long position from down here at about $85,500 was about my entry. I am still holding that position. I did lock in some profits, got about 700 locked in, about 880 or 870 still running here. Now, what does money flow say? Are we going to be able to see the continuation of this uptrend, or are we going to get the bigger drop down? Well, when we take a look here at the daily, another big thing. Look at this daily candle, guys. This is, man, the price action is wonky, guys. It is incredibly wonky, but as you know, we looked at the daily money flow continuing to the upside here. You know, it doesn't look horrible, right? Money flow attempting to come up. Of course, we do not have any of the high time frame confirmations. We don't have any of the daily bullish divergences, which is kind of what I would prefer here if we had the lower low on our price action with the higher low on our momentum waves. This would look a lot better, in my opinion, for a bigger, significant rally to the upside. But we do not have that. But at the end of the day, if we're able to see that money flow cross over into the green, this is kind of what you're hoping for. You're hoping for this money flow to continue up, cross into the green, and then hopefully that can indicate a continuation of the uptrend, putting in higher lows and higher highs. The biggest target I would be looking at there, guys, obviously we have this big wall sitting between 90,000. Well, at this point, we've kind of already rejected the level, but if we push up here, this is still valid resistance, and I'll talk about the lower time frames. Are we going to be able to crack the high? I'll talk about the probabilities of that, but of course, we do have the kind of $91,300 zone. I am going to focus more on the POC, right, because if we do get above this, of course, we have the 786 within that Fibonacci retracement. If we flip the point of control, you know, is there still a chance you can get knocked down by the 786 daily MPOC? Yes. But at that point, right, if we have some of the higher time frame money flow coming up, not just the daily, but if we take a look at the 16-hour money flow has come back into the green, 12-hour money flow has also come back into the green. So at that point, if we still have this money flow cooking to the upside, which it's a little bit of a crapshoot here, guys, because we got the VWAP coming down. But if we see this continue into the green, guys, you just have to be careful. Deviation below the low. Got the bullish divergences, push back into the range, headed up towards the POC. If we flip that POC, technically the target could be open here to the value area high at $93,500. But if we reject that 786, you just got to be careful of flipping that point of control to support before pushing back up to put in a higher low and continue up through that entire profile. But that level is there. I can't ignore it. Sitting at about 92,400. But more of the focus for me is going to be in that first kind of major zone between the golden pocket, the POC, and the anchored VWAP. Now, When we take a look at, I can get rid of that. Once we take a look at the money flow, obviously 12-hour money flow crossing into the green. 10-hour money flow was trying to cross into the green. Now it's back in the red. You got the 12, the 16-hour, and the daily money flow coming up. 12 and 16-hour obviously already crossed into the green. We also have a 2-day green dot. Now, again, as we looked at last week, I would have preferred to put in a lower low here, guys, into key support to see those bullish divergences form. We just did not get them, or we don't have them just yet, at least. There's, not that we can't print them if we do come back down. But, this is kind of what makes me suspicious of a significant rally. It's not impossible if we see that daily money flow crossover, but I would really feel a lot better about it if we have this as a daily 2-day bearish bullish divergence, right? We technically have a 3-day kind of bull div printing, technically have lower lows on the bodies of your candles, but there's just not a lot of confluence, right? We don't have the daily bull div, the 2-day bull div, and the 3-day bull div. We just have this kind of weak bullish divergence on the 3-day. But at the end of the day, you got the 2-day green dot, you got the 3-day green dot. Your 4-day is also, still hovering above that 0 line. So I'm going to stop it there because I think everybody knows my higher time frame context. But if we are able to see some kind of a significant rally, what are the next major levels? Let's assume we get out of this volume profile because, again, guys, when we look at this stuff, we could take off all the intermediary levels, but we're really just looking at this as a volume profile, right? We're still within the range. We got above the $87,000 value area low. We flipped it to support. We were able to get that continuation up towards the POC. We obviously front ran it, but we are inside this profile, right? So key support down below, $87,000. We have the value area low, and we also have the golden pocket retracement in some kind of confluence there with that value area low. This zone does sit between, call it 87,130 down to 86,557. So if we're able to stay inside the profile, right, again, we do have some of the higher time frame money flow coming up, right? 8-hour money flow also trying to cross into the green. If we're able to hold that money flow in the green, possibility of higher lows and higher highs. But again, guys, sometimes we come onto the chart. Most of the time we come onto the chart and we have a ton of confluence, right? It's like, well, hey, 4-hour money flow is crossing into the green, 5-hour money flow crossing into the green, 6-hour, 8-hour, and then all that money flow leaks up into the higher time frames. But we just don't have that, right? 4-hour money flow starting to get rejected, 10-hour money flow starting to get rejected. Then the 12 and the 16-hour look okay. Daily doesn't look too bad. We just don't have a ton of confluence. There's a lot of mixed signals here. And in this super low volume, sketchy, wonky price action, guys, it's very hard to call for a super confident move, especially when we don't have all the things, all the time frames pointing in the same direction. So I would say for the bigger move up long term, if we're going to see that kind of Santa rally come in, you're hoping for that daily money flow crossover into the green. If we can't get that, guys, it's going to be really hard to continue this uptrend. But the biggest key level to hold, in my opinion, is going to be sitting here between 87,130 and 86,557. Technically, the 786 can hold us up. That is kind of the line in the sand that if we end up losing this, I will be looking for a much bigger drop down, either to take out the low here. Now, I am not as interested, as I've covered almost on every single live stream in the past week, right? I'm not as interested in this level as I am on taking out this low at $80,550, right? 80,500 or 80,550? 80,500, right? Like for the bigger levels of support, obviously there's not a lot down here. Really the only thing we have is the 786 pulled from the low to the high. Maybe if we could come take out that low into the 786, we can look for scalps. But for the next real big levels of support, guys, if we can't reclaim the 786 or hold it in general, I'm going to be looking for a bigger move down, and I would prefer to come take down $80,500. And down here, obviously, we have the daily and the weekly, or the daily horizontal and the weekly MPOC. That is your next major key level of support. Covered this many times on the channel because obviously there's nothing else to look at as we are just chopping around in this wonked out range. So big level still sits down here at about 79,500 down to about 78,550. And again, if we do that, something else we can look for are those massive high time frame bullish divergences, right? Lower lows on our price action. Of course, this would have to roll back over, but we could still look for these 2 and 3 day bullish divergences, and that could indicate a bigger bounce to the upside. And I would like that a lot better than what we have right now, only because, again, we have no significant high time frame confluences on this low. And then if we lose that, guys, at the end of the day, I mean, we have this daily sitting here, but if we can't hold this low, probably looking for a sweep of $74,000, right? A fake out of this massive, at that point, right, this will basically just look like a massive range, right? Deviation below the low, deviation above the high, back in, deviation below the low, and just fake out the bottom of that range. I don't know if we're going to get down there. if and when. But, you know, these the biggest levels, right? If I were to kind of not mention the local day trading ranges, etc., the biggest levels I'm looking at, take out the $80,500 low or come up here to attack our bigger levels. The biggest level, right? Again, I hate to confuse you guys with a ton of like 3 different volume profiles, but if we just pull up the horizontal resistances, right? Up here, 95, 3 to about 97K at the point of control of our macro range. Like the biggest levels of resistance, you can mark them off on your chart here. Going to be sitting right here. Biggest level of support, really going to be sitting all the way down here. Other than that, we're just kind of within this wonky range. We have some of the other horizontals here that we will be looking for trades off of. Like I said, in the premium Discord, we were looking for those short positions into this weekly, daily, and golden pocket POC zone. This happened at like 7 in the morning, so I was not on the chart to take it. But some people in the premium Discord, a couple people mentioned that they did take it. You did get some low time frame bearish divergences, as well as, of course, the swing failure pattern of the wick high. But again, just very, I mean, you guys can just see here. Massive move up, right? Just wonk, 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 back up, wonk, 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 sideways, crept sideways over the weekend for what felt like forever, right? We took a look at our scalp range. Can't get out of here. You're looking at the POC. We just kind of bing, 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 bing. Just super, super choppy price action, guys. Super low probability trading environment. This will change at some point. I'm hoping sooner than later. But other than that, like the biggest levels on the chart remain up here, 95 to call it 95 to 97K, and then 79.5 to 78.550. Other than that, we're just looking at our kind of medium time frame value area, looking to stay within this range. If we could remain in here, looking up here, potential bigger short opportunities. If this wasn't the short opportunity, right, we could come back up. This still remains valid. Flip this. We could look up. And again, could you look for local trades at the value area high? Yes. However, I would prefer the bigger levels to get tapped. And if we see a bigger Santa rally come in, guys, I just have to be really cautious, right? I know everyone's going to want to be looking for all-time highs. I'm praying for it. But, of course, the charts are not really pointing in that direction, in my opinion, right? Longer term. So if we do get the bigger Santa rally, I'll pull up that 50-week moving average. If we are able, again, are the probabilities super high for this to happen? I wouldn't say so. But, maybe if we put in the 2-day, 3-day bull divs, maybe we can look for a bigger bounce. But at the end of the day, right, if we can get a Santa rally even up to fake out this range high into key resistance, right? There's your range highs. There's your key resistance. Right, I would start to be very, very cautious around here, right? And I will be traveling, but if we do wind up seeing like a big move into some key levels, I will drop some market updates while I'm traveling from the laptop. But that's pretty much what we're looking at, right? Either looking to come up here or looking to break down to these bigger levels. And of course, I am still holding my long position. But if I get stopped out at this point, I'll get stopped out in profit. Let me go ahead and pull up chat here real quick. We don't want a Santa rally. Who said we're bullish? Nobody said we're bullish. I mean, I'm not saying that we're bullish. If we're bullish, right, the only case I can make here is some kind of a lackluster rally. But of course, guys, we've been struggling around here for so long. And I hate bringing all this stuff up, right? Like I know, a lot of people don't want to hear that the chart looks bearish on the higher time frames. But everyone just wants Santa rally, Santa rally, Santa rally. This might have been it, right? But, again, when we see this daily money flow, this will be the thing to watch. This is the higher time frame signal. You get that crossover into the green, maybe we can continue up. I'm not banking on it. I won't be actively trading probably after tomorrow. I won't be actively trading for the rest of the week. I'll just be holding my long position. If I do come into a key level, maybe I'll take a position if I either come down here or up here. But at the end of the day, right, we took a look at the visible range volume profile. Bada boom. Take off all these horizontal levels, right? Just to try to make it a little bit easier for new people to understand. When we look at this from a high time frame perspective, come on, volume. Come on, there we go. Right, we just don't have a lot underneath us, right? So, like, even if we do come out and fake out this low, it's like if we end up getting accepted into this low volume gap, guys, it could be a very fast drop down to about $70,000, right? We obviously have our major levels of support down there, pulled from this previous volume profile, sitting between about 70,000 to 67K, right? It's right where that high volume node starts to pick up. So just keep in mind, right? I will be looking for bounces if we could get the fake out. But if we don't get the fake out, we just get accepted under this shelf of volume, right? It could indicate that we are going to see a fast drop down through that volume gap into 70 to 67K. All right, and then you have your big floor here, which will oftentimes act as some kind of support. Is that going to be massive rip up to all-time highs? I'm probably not going to be looking for that, but we could still also obviously look for the bounces, the little scalps to the upside. Obviously plenty of opportunity to have there. Just like on our lower time frame scalp ranges that we looked at last week. Of course, taking the long below our value area low, looking for the move into the value area high. And then, of course, we did get that little fake out earlier today. And it's not even that big of a move, right? Like from wick to wick, 7%, right? But my entry was here at the value area high. Even if you're just looking for these small rotations of the volume profile, 2.9%, right? You can make a good amount of money on this. My entries from the value area low, and I already have $700 locked in. Still got $855 unrealized, right? So you can still make a decent amount of profit on these little moves. And this was a small partial position for me as well. So it doesn't mean there's no opportunity, but, very, very sketchy, wonky trading environment. So please, for the love of God, use your stop losses if you're out there trading, guys. And, it is the holidays. I would say if there is a time to take a break and hang out with your family, not a bad time to try to avoid this wonky price action. I'm going to have my alerts set. I already see you could see them here. If my alerts go off, I will, come back to the chart and look to take a position. But other than that, try to relax, hang out with the family, and not stress out over the charts. You don't want to be the guy hanging out with your family, totally detached on your phone the whole time. I'm definitely not that guy. I swear, guys. I swear. Will Bitcoin eventually go past $100,000? Yeah, eventually. I 100% expect to break $100,000. When that happens is the tricky question. And, even if we get a massive, massive pump, whether we get the Santa rally or, whatever, we start pumping, whenever we get it, right? Of course, the 50-week moving average is really the most simple, biggest level of resistance to watch on the chart. This is obviously been impossible to break above every other cycle. We go into the initial top comes in, we get the big drop down, you get this wonky chopped out price action, and even on the big retracements, right, you have a really, 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 really hard time getting above that 50-week moving average. Not only in 2021, the same thing happened in 2017. Right? You break down below, super choppy, push up to the 50-week, and you can't get back above it, and you plunge back down to lower prices. My overall bias, guys, is, of course, as I've said many a times, I'll cover this for 5 seconds, right? Weekly money flow, also, I guess a little bit of an update here as well, right? People were asking me about this green dot on the weekly. Is that bullish, right? Well, technically a green dot is bullish, but in this context with our money flow continuing to the downside, guys, this weekly money flow does not currently look very good. Especially when you start thinking about the 4-year cycle, when you start thinking about the loss of the 50-week moving average. If this crosses into the red, guys, lower highs and lower lows are to be expected. So even if we pushed into the hundreds, that 50-week moving average is sitting at about, 101.7. This is going to be a massive, massive level to potentially put in a lower high before seeing a massive lower low. And we could push up even higher than that, right? If we pull our fib from the lower high to the low. If we pull our fib from the lower high to the low, right, you could see 50-week moving average is essentially, come on. Give me the brush. There we go. You can see this is pretty close to the Fibonacci retracement, right? If you're looking for lower highs and lower lows and we get a big retracement, right, this would be the place to look, in my opinion, right? And then you would have a left shoulder, a right shoulder, a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Not that I would look at that as the signal, right? But this is kind of where you would see oh my God, head and shoulders, right? But I would be looking at it as a Fibonacci retracement with money flow coming out, indicating that the trend will continue down, right? And that's why I'd be very cautious, even if you were to see a massive push up into the hundreds, massive level of resistance. And this leads all the way up to about $108,000, which is confluent with our macro value area, right? When we look at this previous range, there's your value area low, your POC, and your value area high. If you're able to get back into this range and hold it, maybe you go to the POC. This sits around $97,000, that last key level that I showed earlier today. And then if we flip that and we are able to get the bigger push up, right, you just still have massive resistance up here at the value area high. And this is definitely a plausible place to put a lower high in before a bigger drop to the downside. That's if we come up first, right? If we get the move down first, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And when it comes to coming into the hundreds, right, this would not indicate to me that massive new all-time highs are coming. Is it possible? Maybe. But the charts are not pointing towards that. Look at your money flow on the weekly. Look at your money flow on the 6-day. Coming into the red. Yes, it's curving up locally, right? But this is all about long-term trend. Even if this fakes out into the green, it is more than likely going to be a lower high and a continuation into a bigger red wave. In order for this to fake out, I need this thing to absolutely rip to the upside. So just in general, right? High time frame money flow still coming out. not looking the best, right? It's the same thing back in 2021. All your high time frame money flow, 4-day money flow crossover into the red, 5-day money flow crossover into the red, 6-day money flow crossover into the red, right? You bing bong, bing bong, bing. Oh my God, massive move up. Lower high, lower low. What did that come in on? 50-week moving average. Pull your fib from the lower high to the low. Golden pocket, 50-week moving average, confluence, right? If you're looking for lower highs, that's the first place to look at it. Look for it at. So just very similar situation. In order for me to call for all-time highs, guys, like there's nothing on the chart calling for all-time highs right now. I would just literally we need to flip this entire zone, and then we would also need all the indicators to flip around, right? Hopefully it can happen. Nothing's impossible. Oh, my God. Excuse me. Hang on. Let me grab my water bottle real quick, guys. Oh, good Lord. All right. So let's see. Christmas Day 1-minute trading live stream. Shout out to Reacherus. Maybe we'll do it. It'll be the 1-second chart, though. It'll be the 1-second chart. Everyone has to remember this is the first bear market where we have ETFs selling everywhere. Yeah, shout out to Drew Berry. Yeah, I'm sure if we do go into a big bear market, right, there's always narratives that follow, right? Like back here, technical signals were there. There's your bearish divergences. Here's your money flow coming out, already anticipating lower highs and lower lows, and then all of a sudden all the bad news comes in. Luna, FTX, all this crazy stuff starts happening. What could that be here, right? Well, we could try to predict it, right? It's impossible to predict, but, maybe it's, oh my God, ETFs are selling. Oh my God, it's all over. This is the most, selling pressure we've ever seen on Bitcoin. It's never going back up, right? Where does all that bad news typically come in? It typically comes in right as you should be looking to pick up at the bottom of the bear market. But again, we have plenty of time to figure this out. Shout out to Perry. Perry said, read the poem. Perry sent us a poem. I can't get into the Discord tickets. Tony has to do it. Tony just broke his hand today. He broke it. He went snowboarding and broke his hand, apparently. So he's in the hospital right now. Shout out to Perry. I'll try to bring it up and read it as soon as I get access to it. I tried to get him to pull it up, but he was obviously dealing with some stuff. He's okay, right? But he just might have broken his hand. As someone has broken their hand before, it's not fun. Do I think Santa Rally, if true, will it come this year or in January? It's anyone's guess, right? It depends on how things play out, right? It's like, in my opinion, right, like I think it's very I wish, listen, if I had massive bullish divergences down here, if we had the low, a nice lower low into key support with high time frame bullish divergences, which we do not have right now, I'd feel a lot better about a rally continuing. The only thing that I'm open to, right, is like we don't have the bullish confirmations, but like, hey, your daily money flow is coming up, right? But this could very easily come out. So we just don't have a lot of confluence. I would not be betting the farm on it, right? But again, right, like I'm not, I'm in my long position, but I've already taken profits, stop loss at break even. So if I lose that, or if I get stopped out of that, I'm still making money. We just don't like it. Again, if we had massive confirmation, right, it would look a lot better, right? We just don't have any massive bull divs. Technically, we're holding support. But again, like my overall thought process, guys, is like there's not even a promise that you have to come up to the 50-week moving average. I think a lot of people like think this has to happen because it's happened in the past. There's no promises, right? The market doesn't care what it did last time. It's not just going to do that because that's what it did last time. So, yeah, it's like, am I super confident in it? Not really. Is it possible? I mean, looking at the daily isolated, it's like, maybe. But again, right, like I'd really like that to be a bull div. We just don't have it, right? Like back here, what do we have? Massive bull divs, right? Again, into the 50-week moving average as support, right? And then money flow comes back up and you get a massive rally. Not that I would expect the rally to be that big. But, yeah, it's not and I'm not looking to like buy a bunch on spot here for a Santa rally. It's definitely not the case. Let's see. Shout out to Dennis, says, Frankie, the chart on your previous hat predicts 3-week chart on Bitcoin. Shout out to Dennis on my previous hat. The hat that I was wearing yesterday? Shout out to Dennis. Let me know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you mean. let's see. Yeah, Santa Rally on precious metals. Silver Santa Rally, guys. Silver bull run. Man, should have been buying silver. Should have been buying silver. Unbelievable. Shout out to Drew Berry. Said, yeah, not even odd that we're rhyming the top of 2021, November, and by January, I think we're at like 48,000. Potentially. Wish Tony a speedy recovery. Shout out to Mama Nana. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. I know Tony does as well. Silver bells, hear them ring. 100%. 100%. I'm sure there's a bell here somewhere. Yeah, I'm not going to find it. I'll just put a random emoji. There you go. Rocket ship. Let's see. Shout out to Safe Haven. Said, good night, Frankie, and all. It's past 1 a.m. in South Africa. Shout out to Safe Haven. Have a great night. Be safe, brother. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Shout out to Skizzle. I'm not going to say that out loud. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, we can take a look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. I mean, listen. It all remains the same, guys. I'm not going to lie. I probably should have taken a vacation over the past month. But yeah, I mean, listen, high time frame indicators, money flow coming out. The problem is, right, we were talking about this in the premium Discord. The high time frame still looks bearish from a trend perspective, right? 4-day money flow crossing into the red, 5-day money flow kind of coming back up, but generally trending out. 6-day money flow generally trending out. Weekly money flow generally trending out. Here's the I think everybody just wants Bitcoin dominance dumps, massive alt season. It's very difficult for me to call for that. And the reason being is, again, like when I look at the Bitcoin dominance and I'm looking for like an alt rally, the argument there would be to get some kind of a significant retracement, right? And let's just say it brings you up to the 50-week moving average about here, right? If we're able to get that, whether we come up from here, which again, no bullish confirmations or anything like that at the lows, right? Maybe we come down first, and maybe we don't get it, right? But if we were to get this retracement on falling Bitcoin dominance, I think maybe you have a shot at getting a rotational alt season. Not necessarily a massive blow off top. Every altcoin's 50xing overnight, like we had in 2021, right? This was in the midst of massive money printing, massive lower rates. It's just a different environment, right? And we were talking, I think a lot of people are in the camp of like, we can't top out without an alt season. I don't know why that would be the case. Like, there's no rule that says you have to have an alt season. And we talked about like the only alt season that we've had this cycle was sitting all the way back here, right? Obviously, we got the, oh my God, pro crypto president, meme coins going crazy, right? All top signals, right? Not necessarily meaning the all-time high. I was actually in the camp that this was not the all-time high, and we would put in a new all-time high, which we obviously did. But back in 2021, right, it's like the true top, I'm always in the camp of that this was the real top in 2021. We had social sentiment divergences, massive euphoria, massive social interest, and then we kind of had lower interest on that second top, creating another bearish divergence across social sentiment and price action. And this could be very similar, right, where like more of the euphoria came in on the first major top here, right? And then the second one was kind of like, no one really cares, right? It was very interesting when we came up here. It was like, still the interest was not there, right? And it's like very interesting. And what does that give you? It gives you another social sentiment bearish divergence, right? On top of all the technical divergences that you have, all the money flow coming out, etc. So maybe this cycle we look back and we're like, well, hey, that was your alt season, right? It wasn't what everybody wanted, right? But the market doesn't give you what you want. You have to trade the market you're given, not the market that you want. The market does not care what you want. The market doesn't care how much money you want to make. If you're up 100 grand here, the market doesn't care if you want 200 grand, right? I think a lot of people base there like, yeah, but I can make more money if I just hold on, right? But the market doesn't care about that. So, the hope here is if you get a big retracement and you see the falling Bitcoin dominance, and we could even come higher, right? If we break above the 50-week moving average, you still have some other levels you can come up to, maybe 115K, something like that. And you're hoping that happens on falling Bitcoin dominance. I think that's the best chance of some kind of an alt rally. If the money printing is not in full effect and like massive liquidity is not being injected, it's going to be hard for that to be like a massive, massive face-melting alt season, right? For that, I think Bitcoin needs new all-time highs personally. But we'll see what happens, right? It might come down first, right? We might not even be able to get it from here. We might have to come down first, and then maybe that takes a little bit of time. We bounce around 70 to 67K, right? Maybe we even have to drop down to the bottom of this volume profile, sitting in the mid to low 50s, right? 59K at the value area low, deviate below into the low 50s, and then the money printing plays out, right? Finally get the liquidity injection, and then we wind up seeing the alts rally. I'm not going to pull out every single scenario that can play out here, but just some thoughts. Shout out to Vincent. Says, great stream. Right time of the night for me here in the EU at the moment. I miss you when I'm in Asia session. Are we hitting 85K before 91.5 first? That is the big question. What do you think? Shout out to Vince. I mean, listen, what do I think? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing, right? I'm just waiting. Right? You don't need to know. Like sometimes there's no trade to take, right? Like the trade to take obviously was the long down here at about 85.5. I'm holding that position. If we continue up to the 91K zone first, well, hey, then the alarm goes off and we're there, right? It's an if this, then that situation. If we come up, well, then we come here and I make the decision to take the short if we get the confirmations. If we get the drop down first, right? And we take out, I would prefer 80,500, but maybe we take out this low at 83.8. If we take that out first, alarm goes off, I make that decision down there, right? And again, I would look at this. I would look at taking this low as a I would look at taking out this low as a scalp, right? The next major zone would be at 80,500, right? So it's just a waiting game. If we come down, I'll stop out of the long and profit. Hopefully, we can catch a short, right? Like I said, we have the setup up here, but I just was not on the chart. This is like the second short in a row. Same thing. This level up here for a while, right? Came up here for like 1 second before getting the drop down. Had to be super aggressive on that entry. Same thing here, right? A little less aggressive, but we did wind up getting the bearish divergences and the SFP. Maybe that was the top of the level, right? I would prefer to get a bigger, deeper push in, but for me, it's a waiting game, right? It's an if this, then that. We have the traps set in the market, and we only react when we get those levels tapped. Right, so we'll pull up the current range. At the end of the day, if we push up here first, well, beautiful. Well, then we can look for the shorts if you didn't catch it on the first approach, right? If we come down first, well, hey, we can look to take it at 80,500, maybe 83,787. And, of course, don't forget, right, local support. Right, I wouldn't look for a new position here because I'm already holding the long. But, full golden pocket retracement sitting here at the value area low. Right, so local levels sitting down here and up here. Yo, shout out to Golden in the chat. Let's go. Hit that golden button, baby. Gifting 70 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Golden. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. I'm going to spam some myself here. Can't ban me out of my own chat. At least I don't think so. Unless Tony kicks me. I don't think you can ban me. Spamming those golden emojis. Let's go. Shout out to Golden, baby. And a couple calf emojis in there as well. Shout out to Golden. Said YouTube rug/bugged me. First 50 failed. Did 20 instead. And that reset the buy and allowed me to do 50. Nerd. Shout out to Golden. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 70 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Golden, you are unbelievable, bro. You are unbelievable. Shout out to Golden. Probably the most generous human being I've ever met on the planet. Unbelievable. If you just got that membership, guys, you'll have access to special emojis. You'll see that golden emoji. Start that golden shower. Golden waterfall. Golden waterfall. Slip of the tongue there, guys. My membership ended. Shout out to Jay Lopez. Dang, I'm surprised you didn't get one of the 70. Golden, how you feeling, brother? How you feeling? What do you think? Santa coming early this year, or you think Santa's going to just dump coal in everybody's stockings? Let us know. Shout out to ATOG. Said I'm banned from getting memberships for some reason. I don't know if you can get banned from getting memberships. Let's see. He said shower. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Prove it. Says the guy that was just recorded. I know, Golden. I didn't say it. That was I I just took a shower, so I was thinking shower. I don't know. I didn't mean it. I'm an expert membership dodger. Shout out to Tremor. I don't know if there's any qualifications. Like, I think if you're in live chat, you can get memberships. If you're a lurker, you could get memberships. I don't even think you have to chat. I shouldn't have said it. We're all degens. We're all getting coal. Golden said clipped. It's AI, guys. If you see a clip of me saying that, it's AI. It's AI. Golden's just on the jet. Clipped. I have season tickets to losing in crypto. No returns on tickets. Shout out to David. I know what it feels like, brother. I know what it feels like. I'm always watching when Golden buys us memberships, and I've never gotten one. You do have to make sure you go into your YouTube settings. By default, it is not enabled. You have to enable gifted memberships, or you will not get them. But if you have it enabled, I don't think you can get banned from them. We certainly don't ban people from it, but I don't think you can be. Don't even need to be watching the live stream. Really? Shout out to Mike. Oh, you said it. I didn't say it. I swear. I never chat and get memberships. Shout out to Just My Style. Well, there's the proof. There we go. Smash the like button. Shout out to Jedi Skirk. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button, guys. It is the easiest and most free way to support this free value we give every single weekday, except for this week. You guys are not alone. I watch Golden give thousands of those things and still haven't been so lucky. Shout out to Ace. Yeah, just make sure you have it set up in your settings. If that's the case, if you have that on, might just be luck. Give us the alt season. Shout out to Perry. I'm trying. I'm just secretly buying every altcoin trying to pump it, guys, but I'm no match for the market makers. I get them even when I'm not watching. Interesting. Maybe you have to be a subscriber. Maybe if you're not a subscriber, you can't get it. I really don't know the rules, to be honest. But there we go, guys. That's pretty much what we're looking at. Really not a huge update, right? Like, we're just waiting for... We got the rejection from our weekly and our daily up here that we looked at last week. Not really a huge surprise there. I wish I was there to take the short. Simply wasn't. Not going to cry about it. Still holding the long position. If we come back down to the value area low, I prefer to hold the golden pocket, reclaim value area low, and come back up. 786 is the line in the sand, though. You lose 85,692. I'm looking to at least take out 83.8. If not, that might be the start of our bigger move down to the range lows at 80,500. Real quick look at Ethereum, guys. Bada boom. These are lines from last week. Of course, FOMC gives us the bear divs back down to the low. We're just still within this volume profile, guys. I mean, this is super brutal for content, right? Like, there's just nothing to talk about here. And, you know, we're above the value area low. We stay inside here, guys. The doorway to the POC remains open. POC is sitting at 33.32. It's where we're rejecting from right now. We can actually take this off the chart because we've already gotten rejected from it, right? I'll pull that POC back up. Right. At the end of the day, if we could stay in here, POC is still open. If we flip the POC, we see some kind of crazy Santa rally. Next big zone is going to be sitting between 36.53 and 39.22. That is the next zone to look at. What are the probabilities of that happening? Well, if we look at the daily, right, your daily money flow again, attempting to come up, 16-hour money flow crossing into the green, right? We do have to wait for these red dots to print, though, because if these red dots on the 6, and same thing on Bitcoin, 12 and 16-hour red dots print, you know, with this money flow in the green, you could look for higher lows and higher highs. But, yeah, 4-hour money flow trying to work its way up as well. I would just watch this as the key level. It's your value area low sitting at about $2,900. You end up losing this. I mean, the next big key level to look at is this value area high at about $26.63. Two-day green dot printing, no bullish divergence. 3-day green dot printing, no bullish divergence. Again, is the green dot bullish? It's better than a red dot, but there's just no, I never trade the green and red dots, right? I want to see the discrepancy between the momentum and the price action. If we had a push down to this value, if we, say, came down here, got to bounce up, a lower low into maybe the PLC or the value area high of this range with bullish divergences on the higher time frames, right? That would give me a better indication of a big move up. It's just really hard to call here. In this low volume, low liquidity, low probability situation, it's like the only thing I can look at here is I could say the daily money flow doesn't look terrible, right? It's trying to come up. But again, it's not like a beautiful, like when we have bull divs at the low on the daily with money flow coming up, that indicates a good low, right? That to me indicates a strong low for a big push up, right? So that's why I'm kind of just bringing up the resistance and the support. If this, then that, right? If we get the move up to the POC, obviously still resistance. I can even pull up the local fib as well because this might still offer some resistance. I mean, it's pretty much at the POC, right? So if we do get a continuation up, big level to watch is going to be 31.88 to 33.46. If you're going to get a lower high and a continuation down, that could be the first place to look. If we flip the POC, I'm looking up here. Very simple. If we get a move down, the next big level to look at is the value area high at 26.74. It's hard for me to say this money flow crossover is super significant because there's no bull divs, right? I could try to find a scenario where you actually did have bull divs, right? Like right here. Here's your lower low. Here's your higher low, right? Money flow crosses into the green. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Boom, right? This indicates a stronger low than when you don't have a bull div. So is it possible? Maybe. I would just say not super high probability. But your hope is to stay above the value. As long as you stay within this range, the POC is open. Just be careful around this zone at 33.46 to 31.88. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. He says, I miss the days when Ethereum would do exactly what Frankie's TA predicted. Who really created Ethereum? Frankie? Shout out to Golden. Yes. Down at $1,400. I tried so hard. Ethereum's dead, right? This is just typical of what happens at lows, right? It's dead. It's, gas fees. It's slow. All this stuff, right? It's dead. It's never going back up. This is the end of Ethereum, only to put in a new all-time high. Massive all-time high? No. All-time high? Yes. But it's like, yeah, you're at your macro 786 Fibonacci retracement. And literally down here, I specifically said, I don't know. Like, this is the second largest crypto by market cap. I don't know how much lower people want this to go. And even if it was going to go to zero, the chances of it just nuking to zero in a straight line were very low. What happens? It was literally the exact low before the massive rally to the upside. So that's why you just don't want to listen to sentiment, right? It's like, oh, this thing's dead. Really? I don't know. Might want to learn how to read the charts. But yeah, other than that, right, even here, deviation above the high, back into the range, fulfill the value area. Like, for me to look at this and say, hey, guys, deviation above the high, fulfill of the range. Now we're down at the low. Let's look for the bounce at the value area low and a fulfill the volume profile. I can't say it's impossible, but in order for me to see that as a beautiful setup, what do I want to see, right? What do we see at the highs? Bearish divergences, money flow coming out, back in, fill the range. What would I need to see for the opposite? I would need to see bullish divergences, back into the range, money flow coming up. We have money flow coming up. We're back in the range, but we don't have the bull divs. So I just wouldn't say it's super high probability to fill this in full. If we did, right, I would just definitely be very careful for the lower highs and the lower lows. Why am I being careful of that? Take a look at your higher time frames. Weekly money flow is now in the red, indicating the trend will continue down. So shout out to Golden. I miss the days when price was moving. Things been going sideways forever. All right, let's see. Shout out to Golden. Said, you see how fast Frankie brushed that off and kept going? I didn't create Ethereum. Guys, Vitalik is not a front man. He's not a front man. Anyway, I just wouldn't let go any lower here, right? How do you think I find these levels? Right? Just control it. I just say, scare them, get it back up there. Solana, shout out to It's Happening. We can take a look at Solana real quick. I wish I had something to say. This is brutal, guys. Short stream incoming. You're at the value area low. It's just not a place where I would short into support like this. Taking a look at the daily, right? Daily money flow not looking as clean as Bitcoin or Ethereum. You do somewhat have the bull divs, right? But again, if you have to pull it from the, it's like you have the lower lows, you have the higher lows. Are they super strong, super significant? I wouldn't say so. But technically you have the bull divs below the low. If you hold on top of the value area low, your next target's the POC at 145.90. That would be your next major target. Anchored VWAP comes in confluence with that. But, of course, you do have to be careful around the local levels as well, right? You do have a golden pocket 786 sitting between 135.51 and 140.48. It's just it's so hard, right? Like, take a look at the 2-day. You got the 2-day bull div as well. But, you know, if it's not on Ethereum, not on Bitcoin, it's just like you can't ignore that stuff, right? Like maybe, I mean, you do have this on Solana and on the 2-day and the 3-day. But it's like if Ethereum and Bitcoin are not going to go, it's like I feel Solana is going to struggle as well. But at the end of the day, you're above your value area. Value area low sitting at 125, right? If you stay above this from a technical perspective, doorway to the POC is open, right? I am not interested in trading the altcoins right now. So I wouldn't even I personally wouldn't even be interested in a long position here. In a normal, and again, like 2-day money flow coming out. So like, would I be expecting this to be a massive, beautiful low for massive new highs? No, I would be looking for lower highs and lower lows. So POC 145.80, anchored VWAP confluent with that as well. And then again, like just to give you a little bit more of a local level, you know, you could be aware of this local Fibonacci retracement sitting at 135.01 as well. I don't know if this is going to be the place to reject. If we come up in here, you look for the confirmations. If you don't get the confirmations, you sit on your hands and wait for the next level. If we were able to flip this anchored VWAP, flip this POC, maybe you can get the bigger push up, right? We have a lot of local levels we can look in here, but we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. There's no reason to bring that up because we're still super far away. Right now, let's work on holding this value area low. If it doesn't hold, which I am a little bit suspicious of, I'd be looking down to the daily and weekly, sitting between 112.95 and 105.64. Same thing as yesterday or last week. So there you go. We all know Frankie's cousin is Satoshi and has him on speed dial, so it is too much. Is it too much to assume that Frankie might have created Ethereum? Shout out to Golden. Shh. Come on, bro. I thought we talked about this. Shout out to Golden. You got to out me on live stream here. Let's see. 88,350. Shout out to TLMG. I'm not sure exactly I don't know exactly what that means. What about Night? Let's take a look here. I mean, whoops. What happened? There we go. There's not a lot I can do with this, right? I just have no information. It's pumping. It's pumping. But there's not really a lot I could do with this chart. I have no daily momentum waves, no daily money flow. I mean, even the 4-hour, right? I don't even have a full momentum wave. If I could say one thing, I don't even want to say it, right? Because there's no information here. But it's pumping. Shout out to anybody who is in from lower, I guess. Other than that, it's 4-hour green dot. I mean, if you get that to print, maybe you print a little bit of a bear div here, which would call for a break of the high. I could try to pull up some extension targets for this. Probably already hitting one. And there you are, right? There's your first major extension target. Your second major target would be up here. I'm not saying it's going here. I'm just saying if you do, right, this is where I would expect turbulence between about 16 and 14 cents. Other than that, there's not a lot I can do here, to be quite honest. So there you go. Shout out to anybody holding this. It's ripping. Yeah, I don't even have a 16-hour momentum wave yet. Otherwise, I'd try to see, all right, you got some bear divs here on the 1 hour. I don't know. I just don't have enough information. But it's ripping. It's ripping. Shout out to Crypto Mine said, still bullish on BTC. Man, do people think I'm bullish? That cannot be the case. I don't know. Maybe you're talking about lower time frame. But no, I have not been bearish on Bitcoin. I mean, not been bullish on Bitcoin since we lost $108,000. So it depends on the context, right? Am I bullish on the weekly? Not really. Am I bullish maybe on a daily money flow crossover? Maybe, but even then, I'm still very suspicious. So I guess the short answer is no. If we do pump, right, I would just be looking for local pushes through this profile into the POC, maybe the value area high at the most that the highest I'm willing to look right now is maybe a push into 95 to 97K. Shout out to Jen Friend says, hey, Mr. Bada Boom Bada Bing. Or he said, Mr. Bada Bing Bada Boom. Totally different things there. As usual, I'll smash the like button and drop a quick comment. Thank you for your time. Have a great festive new year. Shout out to Jen Friend. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. And thank you for dropping the like. I appreciate that. It means more than you think, guys. Why do I not use Heikinashi candles? I'll toggle to Heikinashi candles from time to time. This has actually changed. If you watch my channel for a long time, I used to look at Heikinashi candles almost solely. And the reason I like the Heikinashi candles is just simply because it just clears up like the trend, right? It's just like it makes it a lot, like smooths out your price action, right? Like you're not sitting here. If you pull up your regular candles, it's like a lot of people get tripped up like, oh my God, green candle. Oh my God, red candle. Oh my God, green candle. This just kind of smooths out the trend. But when it comes to like looking at the actual price action, the live price action, right? Heikinashi candles are more like an average of price. That's why they're smoothed out like that. I used to look at them all the time. Now, funny enough, now I almost 100% look at regular candles. Once in a while, I'll swap over to Heikinashis, but probably like 5% of the time. 95% of the time, I'm looking at my regular candles. Not that Heikinashis are bad. You shouldn't use them or anything like that. It's just what I prefer at this point, especially when I want to look at like live price action or like current actual price action and not the average. But obviously, much smoother to look at your Heikinashi candles. And I believe Market Cipher B was designed for Heikinashi candles. So sometimes if I'm looking for like a high time frame like bearish signal on Market Cipher A, like a blood diamond or something, if I see it pop up on the regular candles, sometimes I'm like, let me see if this is on Heikinashis to make sure it's legit. But oftentimes there's not much of a difference, right? You can see here blood diamond, still there on Heikinashis. Like all these signals are almost the same on regular candles as well. And money flow as well, right? Like money flow, I believe it is based off Heikinashi candles, but it pretty much looks the same on regular candles. It's kind of preference, right? Like what do you like better at the end of the day? Is a bear flag continuation still in play on the daily? Yeah, I mean, potentially. Something like this, definitely in play. I mean, even if you continue up, right, like could just be the continuation of the bigger bear flag, right? And that would bring you up into that $96,000 to $97,000 level. Yeah, definitely at play. Similar to what we saw here on our 2021 price action, right? Just like massive bear flag, eventual drop to the downside. And was this a retest of the overall range POC? It wasn't on your Bybit chart. Was it on your Bitstamp chart? Let's see. Whoops. Yeah. POC was sitting at 47K, very similar to the $97,000 POC. You bing bong around, you're back in the range, you're back out of the range, you're back in the range, you're back out of the range, you chop, you chop, you chop, you chop, you finally get back in, reject off the POC 50-week moving average. Very similar to what we see up here. 97K POC, right? I'm not saying it has to play out the same. Maybe we just break down out of the smaller bear flag, definitely possible. But if you did get back in there and you create the bigger bear flag, right, there's your 97K POC and your 50-week moving average. Very, very similar. So, yeah, I would say that's definitely in play. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for the super chat, brother. He said, y'all should smash the like button all at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Smash that like button. I don't know where we're at right now, but I assume we're at like 7 likes. Let's run it up to 100. I think we could do it. Smash it all at the same time. Push us out into the algorithm, guys. Let's go. Golden, thank you for the super chat. Said, if you or Tony D can get me hooked up on that Femex deal before New Year's Eve, I would be happy to let my swan loose for a night. Remember last time? Oh, God. Guys, last time Golden let the golden goose, or the golden swan, I should say, loose, guys. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to lie. It moved. Price moved. It's crazy. There's no way he could have said, watch this, and then price moved and just been, like, lucky about that. Shout out to Golden. I'll hit you up after the stream, bro. Let the Golden Swan loose, Golden. Come on, baby. Come on. Camera's going crazy. Is the camera going crazy? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. It's happening. I believe you, though. I believe you. Bear markets can break the camera. Is that what he calls it? Yes, golden swans, not golden waterfall. Whew, almost said it again. Golden swan or golden goose. Shout out to Golden. Remember when everyone got all excited about institutions getting into PTC? Yeah, we actually talked about that, right? On the approvals of the ETFs. It's like, we kind of need it, right? Like, if we're going to get regulatory clarity, all that good stuff, right? You need the institutions, but at the same time, you are letting the demons in, right? It's kind of like an unavoidable evil. So it's like, you kind of don't want them there, but you kind of need them there. It went out of focus a little bit. Oh, yeah. I might have, like, put my hand up or something. Or it might have happened when I put my hand in front of my face. Like that. That might have freaked it out. Let's see. Pet swan. Yeah, is a bullish black swan a white swan? It wouldn't be, right? It would be a black swan still. Because a white swan would just be a regular swan. It would just be like business as usual. Camera's picture perfect here. Shout out to Vince. Let's go, baby. See me crystal clear. Man, I hate getting that close to the camera. Anyway, let's continue on. We took a look at ETH. We took a look at Ethereum. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the altcoins, guys, just because, again, we covered a bunch of the alts last week, and there's just not a ton to update on, right? Ethereum. I said Solana, then Ethereum. Cardano still struggling below the POC and the 786, right? We need to reclaim this zone on Cardano, specifically about 38 cents. If we can't reclaim this, right, like the overall anticipation, even if we did reclaim it, is going to be lower highs and lower lows, even if we have to come up here for a much higher time frame, higher low. Because we're now accepted back into our bear market range, right? At this point, right, we're accepted into value. The highest probability is to fill this, right? Back down to the value area low at 28 cents. Doesn't mean we have to come straight down there. But at the end of the day, if we can't get back above this 786 POC, like that would be the only other place I can look. We have no other support, right? This wick took out all the support. We would have had a daily, maybe a weekly down here, but this all got taken out by the wick. And it all stands true, right? Break below we looked at this before the big liquidation event. Like, hey guys, if we wind up losing this range low, the value area high is key support. If we can't hold this, you're looking to fill this entire range. The wick indeed filled the entire range, found support on the value area low almost perfectly, as you would expect, right? And then we get the rebound, and you got to think, well, hey, now, what is your high time frame money flow doing? It is coming out. This is indicative of a continuation of the downtrend. And the same thing stands true when the candles come down here. If we get stuck underneath here, well, hey, POC is the next likely place for price to go. Like, it's not magic that we were able to call for that, right? It's just like it makes the most sense as you're getting accepted into your lower value. When you lose the value area high from above with money flow coming out, the next highest probability area for price to go is the POC of the range. And if you're looking at the fill the wick situation, right, where it wicks, it sticks, right, it would make a lot of sense to come down here and retest these levels at some point, even if we get the bigger retracements. But I would be very cautious of that until we break out of this value area high, and not even this value area high. It's not until we get back above this 786 where I would be willing to look for a move to that POC at 73 cents and maybe a pushback up there. But like, there is no reason to even be looking at these prices right now because we are still within this value. We're not even approaching the value area low here. And with all the high time frame money flow coming out, not just on the daily, but looking at the higher time frames, 5-day, 6-day, weekly money flow, all in the red, indicating a continuation of the downtrend. This indicates lower highs and lower lows, whether we come up to the value area high or even into the golden pocket 786, like this would be the higher probability play out. So if we get the big retracement, that would be beautiful. But I would, that would not invalidate my thought process of coming back down. Shout out to Golden's new chair. Thank you for the super chat, Golden's new chair. He said, oh my God, please get this swan out of the house. He's a complete menace, and he keeps jumping on me. stretching for the sky while flapping his wings. Bro, that's like a perfect depiction of what a swan does. They like reach out and flap their wings. Dude, that's so good. His dirty feet scratching my new Italian leather. Get him out of here. Shout out to Golden. We got to let the golden goose go. We got to let the golden goose go. Come on. Or golden swan. I keep saying goose. Let's go. Golden emojis and swan emojis in the chat. Come on, Golden. Let's go. Pump this thing. What can I say? He's all grown up now and wants to fly high into all-time highs. Let's go. Come on. Flap those wings. Does he have a name? Does the goose have a name, Golden? Let us know. What's his name? I'm long on BTC simply because the fear index tight stop, though. How can you not love crypto? Shout out to Seek Parabolic. Yeah. I mean, and this is the other thing, too, right? Like, you never want to get, like, that's why I'm being careful of the retracements, right? It's like, at the end of the day, guys, if I was not holding my long position from here, I would probably be out of the market for the next week, right? Just let it play out. But what if you missed the short? But what if you missed the long? It's like, it's okay, right? Like, you just catch another trade. I'm not concerned. Like, all my long-term bags, all my long-term moves have been done. I'm happy with where I stand. If we go into all-time highs, I'm still partially exposed. If we go into the bear market, I'm happy with the profits that I've taken. So I'm in a really cushy position. But, again, it's not that, you don't really want to get super bearish at the lows here. And it's not to say that you can't just break down from here. But, the short positions, the significant short positions, were all from above, right? Yeah, the major high at 126K. We shorted that in the premium Discord. I wound up closing that, I think, as we got down to like $91,000, I think is where I closed that for a beautiful, beautiful profit, right? We also had short setups at 116K and 107.4. This was the only one that I didn't catch, unfortunately, or I'd still be holding that. But at this point, right, it's like, if it just goes, it's going to go, right? I would need some kind of a bigger retracement to come back up. And the last two short setups, I just wasn't on the chart for. But, we're at support, right? We're at the 786. Like, I don't want to get super, super bearish at support. At this point, I'd rather just wait for a bigger retracement to catch the short. If not, just let it go and look for the next long position, right? As a trader, I'm not as concerned. Like, when I take a long position at 88,350 or a short position, either one, right? I'm just trading that price action. Like, a long from here to here is the same thing as a long from a fake out of the lows back up to here. I'm just looking at it as day plays, right? Or day trades, as most people would say. It's Golden responding to his new chair. I love it. Check Fetch. You can take a look at Fetch. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like a lot of people are hoping that their altcoin has some kind of secret signal that is calling for massive new all-time highs. I personally don't see it on anything, really. But I can mark off this. I'll give you the key levels on Fetch. There's your value area high. There's your POC. There's your value area low. Right? Support on the high. Back in, can't get out, back in, POC, value area low, right? And that was all done on the wick. We eventually came down to fill the wick. I mean, listen, you're at the value area low. Is this a place where I short? Doesn't mean you can't come down, but this is never a place where I would just like take a short position into support, right? I need price to come up for me to take a short. And again, I'm not interested in trading the altcoins at all right now. But this is not a trade that I would take, right? Doesn't mean you can't break down. It's just not a trade that I would take. If anything, I would have to look for longs. And at the end of the day here on the 2-day, you have a lower low, you have a higher low. In a different environment, I would say, hey, this looks really good for a rotation back up to the POC and back up to the high. In this environment, I would be very cautious with that. You have to understand the environment that you're trading in, which right now is much more bearish. So, potential 3-day bullish divergence looking to form. If it gives you a bounce, the next key level to look at would be the POC at 28 cents. If you get above that, right, I would still be looking at like a lot of local levels in here because I don't know if you're going to get the full rotation. I would say that's probably lower probability. But yeah, I mean, you're just bing-bonging around here at the lows. And again, like from a money flow perspective, doesn't look as bad as Bitcoin. And the reason I say that is because this money flow has already been in the red for quite some time, but you're about to print a red dot on the weekly. I mean, I just would not touch this from a trading perspective. And this is really the volume profile I would look at. I mean, if you lose this, let me just pull some other ranges. I mean, that's really the only range I can look at if I'm being... Yeah, I mean, that's like the only thing I can really look at. There's like no other volume profile I can really pull. I can pull this tiny one down here, right? But that's not really going to help much. Look at that value area high holding up as support. Insane. So, yeah, I would probably just watch this volume profile, right? And at the end of the day, right, I mean, I guess you could pull this as just kind of like a key level. All right, I wouldn't look at it as a range, really. But, you know, value area high holds up. If you fill this wick in full, you do have the value area high sitting down there. You don't have any massive horizontal levels. I could check for maybe a monthly MPOC. I don't know if it's going to give me enough price history. No monthly MPOC. The monthly MPOC sits all the way down at 4 cents. Weekly MPOC sits down at the value area low. So, yeah, like the only thing I can really look at here is this volume profile. So... you know, maybe deviate below the low. I could try to pull a fib as well. And I'm going to pull this up on log just because it's over a long period of price action. Yeah, I mean, you tap the 786 here, but you're not holding the golden pocket. I would say you lose this value area low. I'm looking right down here. And the 786 has already been tapped by the wick, but this would be the next key level. If you cannot hold on top of this value area, or even if you do hold there, I'll take the golden pocket off because it's already tapped. Even if you do hold this and you get the push up and then you break down, like this is still the biggest key level. This sits between about 12 and 11 cents, 0.129 and 0.113. It's really all I have below. So there you go. That's what I would look at. Thank you for the gifted sub. Shout out to Slick Shoes. Go ahead and thank Golden. Drop a golden emoji. Knight is the only one. Yeah. Yeah, and that's unpredictable, right? Like, you couldn't have even been watching that and been like, massive daily bull day, right? Because there's just no price action on it. Shout out to Rudy. Said, Frank, I need to turn $50 into $10K by Christmas. Give me a few tips and go. Shout out to Rudy. Go to the casino. I know he's joking. Shout out to Rudy. Did you already meet Golden in person? Shout out to I don't know how to say your name, brother. 727, I'll call you. Says, did you already meet Golden in person? I have not met Golden in physical person, but I have met him over video. I have. He is real. He is a real person, and he is who he says he is, guys. It's like very hard. I know it's very hard to like think somebody's like really just sitting on a private jet watching the Frankie Candles YouTube channel, but it's real. I promise you, it's real. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's not AI. All right, let's see. Shout out to Reacherist said, unfortunately, that's some bullish high time frame market structure. Yes. You don't want to ignore the market structure, but again, right, it's like I always bring back this, I mean, this scenario or this scenario, right, but just to show an example, right, this is why Market Cipher B comes in handy so much. It's because everybody and their grandma was talking about the bullish market structure here. This is a higher low. You idiot. How could you not be looking for new all-time highs? And the simple answer to that question is not, like, market structure is bullish until it's not, right? And, like, is this a place where you can look for a higher low? Is this a valid place to look for a higher low? Absolutely. This is literally where, this is like the Golden Pocket 786 is where I'd look for higher lows. But they're not all created equal, right? The money flow, especially on the higher time frames in contexts like this, is what will indicate the probability of this being a massive higher low for a massive higher high, or this is where the market structure is probably, or is going to let you know where this is where the market structure will likely change, right? And sure, you get a bounce off the 786, you come up, and then what is it? It's a lower high and a lower low, right? So it's not all created equal. The one thing I will say about the altcoins is they're kind of just already, I mean, Fetch not in as bad of a situation as other things, but it's like, and again, right, like this money flow is not just crossing over into the red, right? And this is why I say like the money flow on something like Fetch, this doesn't look as bearish as Bitcoin, right? I mean, money flow in the red is still bearish, right? And I would still say weekly bull div would be even nicer here, right? This still looks, and I don't know if you're talking about Fetch or Bitcoin, but it all stands true, right? Like, especially on Bitcoin, right? Like, yes, this is a golden pocket 786, but look at that money flow, right? If I were looking for higher highs, right? Why was I looking for higher highs here? Well, even on the daily, right? The daily had massive bullish divergences with money flow coming up. That is indicative of a higher low on something like a Fibonacci retracement. Not all market, like market structure is only bullish as long as it's bullish, right? And then it eventually flips bearish. And the money flow helps you predict when the high probability of that flip is going to happen. So I've covered this many a times, right? So like, is this a place I would look for a lower, higher low and a potential higher high? Yes. But in this case, I would say the higher high is not as high probability. Why? Because all your money flow is coming out, right? Especially on the higher time frames like the 2-day, the 3-day, the 4-day. These are just starting to cross over, which could indicate that this is the beginning of the downtrend. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully this comes up, weekly money flow scams back to the upside. But you can't, again, it's bullish until it's not, right? Oh my God, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Like everyone's just like, oh my God, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, oh my God, right? But no, the signs were there on the chart. Much more indicative of a lower high and a lower low. This is the exact same situation we're in right now. Does it mean it has to play out like that? No. But you are going to be hoping for a fake out, which I never really bet against. Yeah, shout out to Reacherist said, I just zoomed out on Fetch and was pretty higher high, higher low. But yeah, cycle and money flow on, spot on. Yeah, shout out to Reacherist. That's the one thing. And again, honestly, on Fetch, right, it's like, again, that weekly money flow doesn't look as bad, only because it's not like a fresh crossover. But that doesn't mean this can't just continue into a bigger red wave. But yeah, no, I mean, 100% you're reading that correctly, right? You're not, I don't want you to think you're doing this wrong, right? Right, for sure, holding higher lows, and you have the higher highs. Absolutely 100% accurate on that. But again, the trick becomes like, when will this eventually become massive dumps? So, but now if, on Fetch specifically, on Bitcoin, it's a little more worrisome. On Fetch, it's like, well, hey, if we can get the bounce here, start working our way up, and like this weekly money flow starts cooking up, well, hey, maybe, if you get some kind of a retracement on Bitcoin and the dominance starts dropping and we get some kind of an alt season, maybe you can hold that higher low. I don't want to say it's impossible, because again, if this was a big green wave just crossing into the red, I'd be like almost zero chance of that. But because this money flow wave is a little bit deeper and been in the red for a long time, it doesn't look as bad as Bitcoin. Let's see. Sui. All right, let's check Sui real quick. There we go. All right, so we looked at Sui, I believe, last week. I mean, this is very similar to a lot of the other stuff, right? Like, you're tapping on top of this value area high. Daily money flow. Attempting to come up. You don't have any real nice bull divs here. Like, same thing as everything else. That's why I'm not spending a lot of time on the altcoins, right? Because, like, everything almost looks the same as Bitcoin. At least as far as the price action. Money flow looks a little different, I guess. Not even really, right? Fresh, here's the high time frame bias. Fresh weekly money flow crossover into the red. What does this mean to me? This means any bounces off this key level are probably going to be lower highs and lower lows. Whether we come all the way back up to the value area low or this was the lower high, right? At the end of the day, once you get inside of this volume profile and you cannot break out of that value area high, the next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC. The problem here is the POC is all the way down here at the value area low. So once you get accepted in here, right, probably going to be a high probability fill of that volume profile. But, and again, fill the wick kind of scenario where it wicks, it sticks. There is something to that in my opinion. But I mean, you're at key support here. I mean, this has to hold. If this does not hold, probably going to be a much bigger drop down, right? Because you're going to get accepted into that lower value. When we look at this from a daily perspective, right? Again, no daily bull divs. I would prefer to see that, right? When we have daily bull divs into a key level of support, that looks a lot better, right? Low, higher low on the momentum waves. Like this would look good for a massive retracement. We just don't have that right now. Does it mean you can't bounce? No, of course you can. But I would say it's lower probability. If you do, right, your biggest level of resistance is going to be that value area low. And I can't promise you're going to make it up there, but if you did, right, this is still an area to look for a high time frame, lower high for a lower low, right? Because if your anticipation off the weekly time frame is to look for this trend to continue out, if this money flow continues into the red, you're going to be looking for the downtrend to continue, right? It doesn't have to happen like that, right? It could be like this, that, doom, 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 right? Something like that. So, yeah, you got to hold here. I wish you had divergences. I'd feel a lot more confident, but take this to the bank. 134 is key support. If you break below this, I'm looking much lower. The only other key level I can look at, right, you have the golden pocket confluence here. You're chopping around. The only other level underneath the value area high is going to be the 786 at $1.08. If you can't hold that, I'm looking to dump deeper into the profile. And I could try to see if this POC will move at all if I adjust it, right? And it just doesn't. It's like, yeah, man. It's like it's just all like it's down here, right? So now I would never pull my profile like this, but if I did, it comes up to basically to the wick, right? So you'd be looking at $1.08 as your next key level below the value area or below the value area high. If you can't hold that, maybe you got to move down to 62 cents. If you lose that, you're looking down to the low about 43 cents. So that's what I'd look at on SUI. Holding up pretty decent. Holding up pretty decent here. Yeah, and yeah, you got your macro 786. I could try to pull this to the absolute low. Yeah, I mean, this is the level. You're really hoping you bounce here. If not going to be looking good in my opinion. Unless you could hold support on those local levels, but at that point, you're back inside your range. So it becomes a little bit more difficult to look for. Don't pull my fib. Just give it to me straight. Shout out to Reacherus. I'm trying. But let's see. Shout out to Vince said $50 to 10K, 100x on anything, and just roll the dice. Let's go. Shout out to Vince. Hey, hop on that 1 second, Rudy. Hop on the 1 second. I've taught you well how to read that 1 second to a T. All right, let's see. ICP looks interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, again, every live stream I say I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the altcoins because, again, it's just like, yeah, I mean, you're hanging out at the value area low at the end of the day. I'll give you the levels. $287, $522, $927. Value area high, POC, value area low. Bounce off the low, hit the POC, flip it back above the high, bing bong around, can't break out, POC, value area low, big deviation, back to the high. But again, just take a look at this. Let's just look at the 5-day. 5-day money flow, crossover into the red. At that point, what are you expecting? Lackluster bounces for lower highs and lower lows. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Depending on if you want to count that wick. But overall, you continue the downtrend, right? Especially once you get accepted into the profile, POC and the value area low becomes super high probability. So you're at key support. I mean, if you break down below this, it's really hard for me to find the support, right? And why is that? Well, it's because I cannot look left. And at the end of the day, guys, it's like, I mean, this thing has been going down essentially ever since launch, right? Everyone was so hyped on this, and it literally did nothing but go down. And then we got a nice rally, and now we're just back down. It's like insane. But yeah, I would say this is your key support. I could try to pull this fib from the wick low to the high. I mean, you got to hold this. Pull it on log just because this is over a long period of time. Right? Like this would be like you lose this 786. There's nothing to look at underneath. Right? So you're hopefully hold on top of the value area low to continue back up. But you lose that 786. I mean, there's really no telling where this thing's going to go. You'd have to pull extension levels. So that's 786 is at about $1.87. Value area low, golden pocket sits between 285 and 247. So hopefully you can hold there. You don't, it's like you have the bull div, but look how wonky this price action is. It's just not clean. But you are at support. So take that for what it's worth. Weekly money flow still in the red. No weekly bull div just yet. And not a ton of information on the month. You got a monthly red dot printing as well. So, again, not a place where I would look to take a fresh short. But, the shorts are hard, right? Because it's like people always want to short on the big dump. Oh, my God, it's going to zero. Short it, right? And then you get a big retracement. They're like, oh, my God, bull run. And then it just nukes. But, again, if you could stay on the right side of the trend, what are you looking for? You're looking for pushes into your golden pocket 786 retracement. That's where you want to be looking for the shorts. On the push up. When everyone's screaming bullish, 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 I mean, unless it really is bullish, right? But if you're looking for lower highs and lower lows, and everyone's saying, oh, my God, this is super bullish, ask yourself, why do people think this is bullish? Is it just bullish because there's a green candle, right? Is the chart bullish? Well, what's my money flow say? My money flow is in the red, right? Look at the 5-day. 5-day money flow in the red. 6-day money flow in the red. 4-day money flow in the red. Right, so it's like you're looking for lower highs and lower lows. Where's that lower high likely to come in at? It's either on the golden pocket or the 786, so literally the POC or the value area high. High, low, lower high, lower low, right? So even here, right? Oh my God, it's pumping, bullish, all-time highs. Every time it pumps, all-time highs. Oh, like once you know how to read the chart, you'll be able to identify if it's a higher probability of all-time highs or lower highs and lower lows, right? Again, pull up the 4-day. 4-day money flows in the red. Are you expecting all-time highs? No, you're expecting a lower high and a lower low. Where's the lower high come in at? I can almost guarantee you this is going to be a golden pocket 786. There it is. Very simple. No emotion, no narrative, no hopeless, no senseless hopium, just pure information. That's where you look for the short. Doesn't matter what everyone else is saying, right? What does the chart say? Honestly, you have a situation like that where you have a fresh 4-day money flow crossover into the red. You're looking for the lower high, and people are bullish. It's almost a good sign for your short. So there you go. Those are the levels I'll be looking at. Last level, $1.82. You lose that, I'm looking to take out that low here at $1.17. Yeah, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Says every altcoin either mirrors or mimics Bitcoin's price action. If the alt has a major divergence from Bitcoin's price action, it's either being manipulated or has matured and clearly has its own value and functionality. Shout out to Golden. I could not agree with that more. I just feel like every time someone asks for an altcoin, I think they're hoping like, oh, like my altcoin's the one that is like I hold XRP, right? Like that one's guaranteed to go to 10K. So like none of this bearishness counts for XRP, right? And it's like, if Bitcoin's bearish, chances are most altcoins are going to follow suit. I would agree 100%. Taking a quick look at XRP. Still holding the lows, still holding the 786 by the skin of its teeth. Can't lose this level, guys. We lose this level, looking to come back down here to $1.50 to $1.40. Other than that, not really much of an update. It's all like the other thing with XRP is like I think a lot of other people are like inclined to think that it's separate from Bitcoin because they're sold this dream of flip the switch 10K incoming. Listen, I hold a lot of XRP. I'm inclined to believe that too, but I just not something I base my decisions off of. I hope that happens. Somebody clip that. Hard knowledge. Shout out to Golden. Yes. Oh, I mean, you said it, Golden. That's hard knowledge from from Golden himself. Skin of its teeth. Yeah, literally. Literally barely holding on. We don't want to lose these lows, right? I mean, we start breaking down below the 786. I'm fully anticipating to push down here. And then at that point, right, you're really hoping that holds up. But it's like you have to think about this. Like, if we go into a bear market, is the bear market, like if you've ever been through a crypto bear market, like does the bear market do this? Like we're pretty close to this. I know it doesn't feel close. It's 21%. XRP can do that in a day, right? Like, do we think, right? Let's just assume, right? We're assuming, we're not saying it's guaranteed, assuming we're in a bear market, right? And price is going lower on Bitcoin, alts are going to follow. Is it realistic to think that XRP is just going to like sneeze down here and then start another massive bull run? Like, it just doesn't line up with anything else. So at the end of the day, right? And again, looking at your weekly money flow, trending out, right? Maybe you get the green dot, you get a bounce back up, but we lose these lows. This money flow crosses into the red. You get accepted into this profile. There's not a lot below you, right? You lose that value area high at about $1.50. I'm looking down towards about 83 cents. Hopefully we don't have to do that, right? We're like XRP still holding the lows here. Hopefully that can continue. If we can hold these lows, get back into the range. But this money flow's really got to start kicking back up. This is not indicative of a fake out just yet, right? This could very easily just be a lower high and a bigger red wave. Very suspicious of that. If it kicks up, right, we get back into the profile and this thing starts really cracking these highs, well, then we could say maybe it's a fake out. And then again, like on the way back up, we still have massive resistance ahead of us inside the profile. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. Said 3 of your lucky Powerball numbers for tonight's drawing is 7, 8, 6. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Hopefully that 786 is our lucky number. Gotta hold this. Gotta hold this. We looked at this for a while. We've already tapped it, right? This also makes me a little suspicious of it holding long term. Tap it once. That's fine. But typically when I'm looking for a big bounce off the 786, I want it tapped once. The more time you knock on the door, more likely that door is to open. And if that door opens, that door is the floor. So come on, XRP. I would like to see a reclaim of the value area low to start feeling a little bit better. That sits at $1.98. Oh, shout out to Golden, not me, what you said right before the super chat. I don't even remember what I said. Huh. That's how you know you yap a lot. Or I yap a lot. Yeah, shout out to Martin says, Sol, BNB, ETH, XRP, BTC, my only long-term coins. The rest come and go. Yeah, I'm in a similar situation. I don't hold a ton of BNB, but I would agree. If I won the Powerball tonight, Billy, I'd open a Frankie Candles school for kids who don't read charts well. Shout out to Cryptic Crab Man. Maybe we'll start that. Frankie Candles elementary school of learning how to make money trading Bitcoin, whether price goes up or down. I heard the ladies look for 666 men. I'm a 618. Winning. Shout out to Post. Tonight's pick 3. All right, let's see. Filecoin. We could take a quick look at Filecoin. Yeah, approaching your 786. Your next key level, I'll give her the golden pocket because it's ran through. $786, it's at $1.11. That is your key level. On the way down. Came back up, rejected the value area low. This is your next key level. $1.10. 1.102. That's your next key level of support. Can't hold that. I mean, dang. If you oh, let me Yeah, it's just very difficult, right? Because we can't look left, right? I don't think we can look left. Yeah, there's just like nothing else to look at. Cannot look left. There's just no other structure. So, I mean, this is pretty much the same thing we just looked at, right? Like, here's your previous volume profile. You got to get back up in this range. Like, until you get back up in this range, like, I would say there's no reason to feel good. Not feel good, but like there's no reason to look for a bigger move up. Like anything until we get back in here, I would be very suspicious of a continuation of the downtrend. Let me... All right, and like even here, key resistance on the value area low. So it's just not a lot to look at there. It's like, got a long road ahead before you could even start to maybe look for a flip of support. Or, I'm sorry, flip of resistance. And just pull this on the Coinbase chart to get rid of the crazy wick. Yeah, I mean, you just pretty much lost all your key support. Next target below, right? Again, I cannot look left. There's no structure here to pull from. So the only thing I can look at is this extension level sitting at 64 cents. I'm not saying you have to go down there, but it really is like the only next place to look for a big level, right? Like unless I were to pull up the daily maybe, like unless I were to pull like extension levels like this, right? Like you get some local levels, but like from major support perspective, right? Like 64 cents would be the next target. Again, I'm not saying you have to go down there. You do have bull divs forming on the 3-day. You actually do have bull divs there. Money flow trying to come back up. So, like, really what you need here is you need a big bounce, and you need to flip that 786 at 333. If you can't do that, I would be very concerned. Not to say it's going to go to zero or anything like that, but, like, if I'm trying to look for more upside, right, like, you got to get above, like, until we get above that, wake me up when we get above this value area low, at least, if not the 786 at 333. Other than that, like, this could be wonky, choppy, and potentially bearish. So, DGen Center for kids who can't trade good. Listen, kids, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to wait for that 786. You're going to want to go ahead and see that lever on the right. You want to crank that to 100x. And then that portfolio percentage, you want to crank that to 100%. And you're just going to want to go ahead and fire long. What does the SL mean? Stop loss. No, those aren't important. Just go ahead and fire on that long. We were raising men over here. We don't use stop losses. But anyway. BTC. Shout out to 24. We covered BTC in extreme detail. Just scrub back to the beginning of the stream. You'll get all the key levels and my thoughts on where I think price is going next. Short term on Bitcoin. You're holding on top of your value area high. If we get accepted back into this range, the next level to look at is the POC / golden pocket retracement, right? It's a little bit, it's not super confluent, but this POC, here's the thing, right? If I pull up the current range, this is the level I'm looking at. Get accepted below 88,267. I'm looking for the POC. The POC is confluent with the golden pocket. The POC of the local range and the golden pocket is also confluent with the value area low of our larger range, right? This is the overall context. With our higher time frame or medium time frame money flow, like 8 hour, I mean, this is already back in the red, right? Like, this is what I just talked about. It's like in a bear market, you are to spend more time in the red than the green. So, I would say, right, like 10-hour money flow, or I'm sorry, 12-hour money flow in the green, 16-hour money flow in the green. Once these red dots print, this could drag back into the red. In a regular, comfortable, higher probability trading environment, this is money flow in the green. This red dot would be looked at as a higher low and a higher high. Is that still possible? Yes. But when you look at the 10-hour back in the red, the 8-hour back in the red, the 6-hour back in the red, the 5-hour trying to come up. Like, all these are super mixed signals here. Super choppy, low probability price action, right? There's just no clear signal I can give here. So the if this, then that is if the only reason I would be interested in looking for this to be support is because if we stay inside this range, this could technically be a higher low for a higher high, right? Is that possible? Well, based off the 12 and the 16-hour, yes. I'm just suspicious that these red dots are just going to drag price down and money flow back out. But in the case that this holds, this is the level you want to hold. Last case scenario, last ditch effort would be the 786 at 85,668. Once you lose 85,688, right? If you lose that 786, I'm looking to come lower to take out these lows and eventually these lows. So on top of that, we also have the 30-minute money flow. This just goes to show. In the back, in the dirty price action. But if we get this 24 and 30-minute money flow to continue out, 24 minutes coming out, 30 minutes coming out, if we get these to cross over into the red with our 8-hour red dot printing, which it is, right? We still have 7.5 hours for that to confirm. If that money flow crosses into the red on the 8-hour, I would expect the continuation of the downtrend into this key level. If you can't hold this, I'm looking for the bigger drop down. So there you go. 30-minute and 24-minute money flow is the time frame to look at. See those money flow crossovers, expect the move down. For me personally, that doesn't mean, like, people might be asking, well, then do I long or short here? Well, there's no trade to be had here, right? There's not always a trade. You don't jump on the chart and say, oh, long or short. I mean, you can, right? But that's just not how you're supposed to trade, right? Or not how I would ever trade. You want to wait for the key levels. If we got down here, saw bullish confirmations, maybe I would take a shot at a long, right? But I just don't know what price is going to look like down here. But that is the next key level. If we lose, and again, it's the value area low. If you're looking for the 12-hour money flow to continue into the green and you're looking for higher lows and higher highs, which again, I am suspicious of not happening, right? I'm suspicious of that not being the case because of the other time frames. But if we were to do something like that, this would be the place to look for the long. Can't hold that? Well, you probably want to get out of that trade pretty quickly to come take out the lows. And once you lose this value area, right, not looking good. So there we go. Shout out to 24, said BTC when time entry. I don't know exactly what that means, 24. If you let me know a little bit more detail, I'll try to answer you a little bit better. Frankie, amazing content. I know the chart is telling you, but what do you think about the correlation with the U.S. stock market? Well, let's pull it up here. I mean, looking at it from a technical perspective, we have weekly bearish divergences confirmed. There's your higher highs. There's your lower highs. The stock market behaves quite differently than crypto, right? Money flow, market cipher B, divergences all work on the stock market, but it just behaves a little bit differently when it comes to money flow. You got a 6-day red dot printing. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, people, I feel like, see this and think stock market's trading near all-time highs. This is bullish. And, like, maybe it is, right? I'm not saying it's not. But to me, I don't know. It's like, especially after this big move up. I mean, the stock market's different, right? This thing scams up forever. Every dump ever in the history of time has been eaten up and we've made new all-time highs, right? Like, they'll just print money and scam this thing to the upside forever, which hopefully they do, right? Because that's going to drag Bitcoin up with it. But right now, right, Bitcoin is not correlated locally to the stock market. Overall, it is correlated to the stock market, but yeah, I mean, if this thing, here's the thing, right? Like, if we look back at 2021 and we pull the SPY over, which is, right, if we pull this up, oh man, it's not going to bring it up on, come on. Maybe I could pull up the SPX. Actually, let me see something here. There we go. All right, so just bear with me here for a second. Pin to new scale. Okay, so if we look here, right, at what the stock market did last cycle, right, and again, I'm not saying it has to play out like this, but it is interesting to look at. The stock market continued to rally as Bitcoin was dumping, right? So this is what makes me a little bit nervous. It's kind of a similar situation, right? It is really weird how similar this is to 2021, right? Top comes in at the same time. Stock market pulls back, comes back up. Bitcoin's in a free fall. But sooner than later, the stock market comes back down. If we were to see the stock market correct, right, it is going to translate into Bitcoin in a huge way, right? So I would just be careful. I'm not saying that the stock market has to go down. We do have the weekly bear divs. Let me pull the SPY back up real quick. Yeah, you got a monthly bearish divergence looking to print as well. So, I mean, in my opinion, this would have to absolutely rip to the upside on some kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's not locally correlated right now, but it has happened in the past where Bitcoin is topped out first. The stock market kind of starts to correct with Bitcoin. And then as the stock market rebounds, Bitcoin just continues down. And then eventually the stock market rolls over and just drags everything back down with it. So, if the stock market keeps rallying, could we just see Bitcoin continue to chop or go sideways or maybe even just get a little bit of a retracement? Maybe. But if the stock market corrects, that is probably going to translate into Bitcoin in a gigantic way. I think the reaction to the downside, if the Bitcoin follows the stock market, I think the reaction to the downside on Bitcoin is going to be a much stronger correlation than if the stock market continues up. If the stock market keeps putting in a new all-time high after new all-time high, unless it's massive, I think that would translate into, small retracements on Bitcoin. If the stock market corrects, I think that's going to be probably what we're looking for to have the bearish case play out on Bitcoin. So we'll see. It is interesting to see the stock market continue to trade near all-time highs as Bitcoin is correcting. But don't get it twisted. We've seen that happen in the past. So there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Shout out to Post said, a bit distracted, a car parked outside, and I literally felt a cold front coming through the window on the other side of the house. Probably nothing. Shout out to Post. Oh, God. Come on, Post. Let's go. I'll come protect you, bro. Shout out to OK said, why so much TA spent on price and not time? It's much more important than squaring price and time, or more important squaring price and time. Shout out to OK. I don't know if you're talking about time as in like a TPO perspective, or if you're talking about like cycle timing. But yeah, let me know. I'll give the AI bubble another 4 months at most. Hey, we'll take it. If it drags Bitcoin up, we'll take it. But there you go, guys. Back to Bitcoin here, 88,541. We'll see. Got to stay above this value area low. If we can't hold this zone, guys, probably looking for much lower. Or not, I wouldn't say much, right? Well, maybe much. But this is really the next key level. Break below that golden pocket. Last line in the sand, 85.7. Can't hold that. I'm looking to take out those lows that we talked about in the beginning of the stream. If you just tuned in, scrub back to the beginning. I don't want to repeat myself consistently here on this boring price action. But that's all I got, guys. And quick reminder, did Frankie say short stream today? I did. And here we are literally at 7:30. I don't even look at the clock, guys. I literally, when I feel like it's time to get off, I look at the clock at 7:30. It's literally programmed into my mind. I've been doing the same thing for 4 years now, and it's just like part of my biological clock. But this week, reminder, I will be traveling tomorrow. So I don't know 100% if we're going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to try to do at least some kind of a stream. I'll get dragged off to go catch the flight. But if not, guys, I will drop any urgent market updates if we come down to any of the major key support levels or up to the major resistance levels. I will have my laptop, and I'll obviously be in the premium Discord. But if anything crazy happens, I'll drop a market update. And shout out to Neon Visual, said join Warbucks. Yeah, guys, if you want to check out Warbucks, I dropped the video earlier today. Go check it out. I'm giving away 10 $5,000 funded challenges for free, and I'm also giving away one $10,000 instant funded account. Finally got that video out. I had to film it like 3 times, and then part of it, I had to film an extra part a 5th time because I kept messing it up. So go watch that. Figure out or watch the video. Find out how you can join to enter the giveaway, and may all the crypto and funded account luck be in your favor. I should have rated that video from the live stream, but too late now. So go check that out. It's the last upload that we did. You'll see it. It's got me in a Santa hat sitting up there, I think. So go check it out if you're interested. And thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button on your way out. I think I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, the rest of the week's going to be on and off. I might not stream the rest of the week. Go have fun with your families. The charts will be here when you get back. If anything crazy happens, I'll update you guys. That's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a happy holiday and enjoy time with your families, guys. The charts will be here when you get back. Do not miss the important things in life to chase money. Please don't do that. It's not that important. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, thought they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switch Masked up, whose man's high? Through it all, I stay the same. I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right. I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life. I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose, and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Santa, you said I was on the nice list, Santa. Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. I think I'm on the naughty list, guys. I'll check back in with you tomorrow. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Put me back on the nice list. That's all I got. See you guys tomorrow. Bing bong! Wrong button.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the